Parents, if you are exhausted from the daily mealtime battles with your picky eater, this video's for you. Maybe you've tried everything from hiding vegetables in smoothies to reward charts to just one more bite negotiations at the dinner table, right? If you're like many parents we meet, you probably read countless articles about behavior modifications, tried every feeding strategy in the book. But what if the root cause of your child's picky eating isn't just about the food? What if it's about their nervous system, their sensory system, and it's actually fighting against them at every meal? Now, studies show that 22% of children are actually classified as picky eaters, with 40% remaining picky eaters for more than 2 years. That's a long time. I'm sure if you're in this battle, you've felt that. But here's what most doctors aren't telling you. Picky eaters often have less to do with stubbornness, behavior, and more to do with an overwhelmed sensory nervous system. First, I want to tell you about Leo. Leo is my prime example of this. Leo was a patient, and his story might sound familiar. He's a toddler, but before finding neurologically-focused chiropractic, Leo's mom faced significant challenges with his eating. There were many days where he just wouldn't eat at all, or he'd eat all the same things. Mom remembers feeling just completely helpless, especially when their pediatrician just kept saying, they'll grow out of it. Here's this toddler trying to get ready to go to school, and he wasn't growing out of it. They tried speech and eating therapies, but saw very little progress. Now, everything changed for Leo when they discovered neurologically focused chiropractic care. Through the scans that we do, they finally saw the root cause of the sensory struggles. Now that his nervous system isn't overwhelmed, Leo's sensory skills have improved dramatically. His meltdowns have decreased, and he's eating multiple foods regularly. Transformed from a picky eater to a happy toddler that is okay with most foods. The only thing, you might not want to give him broccoli at every meal, still doesn't like that, but most things he is okay with. His sensory system has calmed down. Now, to understand what leads to picky eating, I really want to break down this nervous system connection, because that was so key for Leo. Now, your child's picky eating likely stems from a neurological state we call sympathetic dominance. It's where their nervous system is stuck in constant fight or flight mode. Basically, this creates a state of sensory overload. Everything looks like a threat, making normal food, textures, smells, tastes, feeling all overwhelming. When the nervous system is stressed in this point, it actually programs the brain to crave simple carbs, sugars that can be quickly converted to energy. Everything else is just too much, and it's not going to be accepted. Now, there's 3 root causes that we see most often with picky eaters and the sympathetic system overwhelm. We often see subluxation or stress in this upper neck or brainstem region. This creates stress in the nervous system in one of the most important places, because this leads to heightened sensitivity with the vagus nerve and with the other neurological motor systems that go on right here. This makes the body extra sensitive to food textures, temperatures, taste. So what might seem like a normal food texture, you can feel as extremely uncomfortable or painful to your child because of the subluxation in this area. Another common cause, and I mentioned this, is the vagus nerve. Now, the vagus nerve lives up here right by the brainstem. The vagus nerve controls digestion, appetite regulation, and gut-brain connection. You've probably heard of it because of that. Now, when subluxation interferes with the vagus nerve, it disrupts these natural eating patterns. It makes kids maybe not have the best digestive comfort. Then they start to associate eating with unpleasant experiences, and it's just easier to either go without or have the easy foods, the carb-based foods, the sugar-based foods, the processed foods that all of us parents, we don't want. Now, the last key to really sensory aversion and picky eating is the oral motor coordination issues. Now, subluxation up here, stress up here, affects the cranial and cervical areas that can impact chewing and swallowing. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, the motor system. This often leads children to prefer soft, simple to eat foods. The struggle with certain textures isn't stubbornness, it's just the physical challenge of chewing and having that proper neurological support where they can feel comfortable having those different type of textures. Now, just like Leo's family discovered, understanding all 3 of these neurological connections were key, and those were the first step to his lasting change. The good news here is that neurological focused chiropractic works in all three of these areas, addressing those underlying issues and helping kiddos overcome them, not just from an external standpoint of, oh, that food looks better, but neurologically, going deeper down and looking at the root cause of why is the brain so uncomfortable with these things. Now, here at PwC Chiropractic, we used advanced insight scanning technology. We simply call them scans. What these scans do is they identify specific areas within that nervous system where that stress might be contributing to the picky eating. This was so true with Leo. Then we can provide gentle, precise adjustments to help restore proper communication from that nervous system, making things easier. And then when you introduce new foods, it's easier for you to gain that momentum and for kids to feel like, hey, this isn't such a threat. I don't have to be in such sympathetic stress mode every mealtime. So if you're ready to transform those tough times at family dinners to where there's more ease, we are here to help. Click the link in our bio. Call us. We would love to schedule a consultation and talk about it, to see a scan, to see if your child's nervous system is one of those three things that we can help with, just like we helped Leo. So we don't want another meal to end in frustration. We are here to help you with picky eating.